Oh, right. So I did actually get Slackware working. I posted about it on Telegram that I didn't know why they were using EFI or yeah, EFI Lilo, whatever. And they said, "Oh, actually it supports Grub and it comes with Grub pre-installed, so all you have to do is go into the shell after install and then it'll be good." So I did that, Grub installed fine, and then I was able to boot into it. And then I was met with it doesn't have a display manager, but that's pretty easy to fix. Even though in the docs it doesn't tell you use use start X to start your X session. I knew that from other distros, so yet again the docs were not my friend. But then when I got into XFCE, I was met with the Slack builds. Because the first thing I was like, okay, well, I've got Firefox, I'll install OBS, Steam, Discord, all this proprietary bullshit that I got. Obviously, OBS isn't proprietary, but I use the Flatpak because it's there. It's got the most features or some shit. Anyways, I use the OBS Flatpak usually. So Slack builds. I was gonna be like, okay, well, I'll install Discord as a Slack build instead of through Flatpak because they have a Slack build, and it was pretty badly out of date. So I was like, okay, fine, I'll install Flatpak and then I'll install Discord that way, or I could just use it in the browser. But I was like, I need Flatpak anyways for my other stuff, so I'll install Flatpak. And then I realized there was like 6 dependencies, and I would need to build all of those manually. So I was like, oh, is this really the best way to do it? Is there like no package manager because fucking everything is a Slack build? So I'm like, okay, what do I do? And the people on Telegram were again like, oh, use SBO package. It's like a package manager for Slack builds. So I was like, okay, cool. I'll install that build and then I'll be fine. So I went through there. It took a good like 10 minutes or so to sync the repository, even over a gigabit connection. So that's always fun. But what ended up happening though was I was able to queue all of the dependencies except lib sec something. I don't remember. Anyways, I couldn't queue that one, but that's because it was already in the repository, which was nice. But everything else was in like OS tree and lib JSON and whatever um were all in Slack build. So I queued them all up and installed everything at once. And that was cool. So then I had Flatpak and I could add FlatHub and I could install everything that way. So that's how I got Discord and OBS working. And that's kind of where I am right now. Like, I installed Flatpak immediately so I could not use Slack builds because the software as a service stuff really needs to be updated like constantly. And you don't get that with Slack builds. So it's not quite like Gen 2 where everything's pretty up to date, at least reasonably so. So I'm realizing that Slackware is a bit different, but I did get it installed. I am using it now, so I can probably turn this into a normal computer. Probably. I haven't really gotten started yet, but it all fits on. I've got like 20 gigs installed right now. That's my entire drive. So that's pretty cool that it fits on such a small space. But that's where I am right now. I'm gonna like theme it and everything now that I'm on XFCE. I know somebody said try FVWM, but I didn't want to try it on a distro I've never used before because learning both things at once would be a problem. But I am slowly learning this, and it seems pretty decent out of the box so far. I don't know. I do wish that Grub was an option in the setup program instead of having to install it manually, though. That would have been nice. But that's about all I got right now. So, yeah.